Vandisi Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditam Yudayade Pushpavanto Shito Shando Tomo Nudo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My dear devotees, this is the first and the second initiation. Srila Prabhupada once said something very nice about the first initiation. And it was after he had given an initiation to the devotees in Vancouver, Canada. The year was 73, and he referred to the initiation as an opportunity. He called it a golden opportunity. You have now got the golden opportunity of this human form of life, and it is not by accident that you have met your spiritual master. So if you are actually intelligent, you will take advantage of Krishna's blessings upon you and go back to home, back to Godhead. He said, my request to all of you is that you very seriously and sincerely stick to the principles of devotional service and especially observe strictly the 4 prohibitions, and without fail always chant at least 16 rounds on your beads daily. In this way you will be always happy. He requests them. This is the process. And then he says, and there is also an essential point in all of this. So we just don't do this mechanically, 16 rounds and 4 principles. There must be some life in it. We all know when the life goes out, then there is dead. Things stop. So he says the essential point to remember is that by your activity, you will please always your spiritual master. That means following the orders and instructions of your spiritual master. And my first instruction to all of my disciples is that they become Krishna conscious devotees themselves and help others to become devotees. So he then ends his letter by saying what he often used to say: if you stay engaged 24 hours a day with spiritual activities, then the darkness of material life can't stay with you. The darkness cannot stand before the light. So Maya cannot stay in the presence of Krishna. I want to visit this letter, revisit it. This was written in 73, and we are 52 years later. What do we make out of this? 52 years of experience has passed by. is there something that has changed, or is there something that stays the same, has stayed this? And I wanted to say, is there something that stays the same? I really believe spiritual principles are eternal. You are you are a soul, a part of God. That's eternal. That will be also true after more 50 more years and 100 more years and so on. There is Krishna, that is true. And there's also something that this world cannot satisfy the needs of the soul for ultimate freedom and ultimate and bliss and ecstasy. That is, the world cannot fulfill that. That also is true. It was true then, it will be true in the times to come. What is about the spiritual practice? 16 rounds, 4 rules and regulations. Is this still true at this time, or do we need to change it? It's as we heard in the disciple meeting, these things are there to make the process of spiritual life work, and they are based on 2 factors, 2 principles, and you will recognize them very easily. It's developing attachment, and developing detachment. When you engage in spiritual activities like kirtan or japa, proper japa, right chanting, you will develop more attachment to Krishna. And if you engage in material activities, you have experience. You develop more attachment to Maya, or so. Therefore, you need to know in your spiritual life that which helps you to develop attachment and develop detachment. No? So this is the golden opportunity, human form of life, and meeting of a genuine spiritual practice. I want to now say something, and I'm on the second initiation. Sometimes devotees have asked the meaning of this second initiation. Is it necessary? Is it not necessary? It depends a little bit on where you are in your spiritual life. Prabhupada said it in a very wonderful way. Chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that is sufficient. But still, to purify you more, the second initiation, or Gayatri, is given. I think you all know when you chant Hare Krishna, the mind is very, very restless and occupied with so many things, then how can you focus and concentrate? Or if the mind remembers all your Netflix series or all the talks which you had and so on in the last time, all the distractions in which you find yourself, then it's not so easy to chant nice meditative rounds. But if you can chant three times a day a mantra or a series of mantras that remind you so much of Krishna, because they are all about Guru, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, then there is a chance that you can chant with full absorption, because you have some what is called sambandha, some understanding of your relationship with Krishna. I go here through my notes. The Gopal Tapani Upanishad brings out a general statement why it's good to meditate. No? We are a spiritual movement, and spiritual people meditate. So the verse says, Aputa puta bhavati yangmang smrityam. By remembering me, or smritya can also mean meditating about me, one who's impure becomes pure. Have you ever found this out, that when you stop your busy days and you read something about Krishna and you let that echo in your mind, how your orientation changes, no? By remembering me, one who follows no vows becomes a strict follower of vows. I have observed some of my disciples and have seen how they have given up their vows. But when they were able to, usually it happened when there was some difficulty in their life, to take shelter of Krishna again and think of Krishna, they were able to become strict followers of vows. No? By remembering me, one who is desireless, who does not want anything, develops desires to serve me. It's sometimes you may find yourself a little passive in your spiritual life, and you're so unwilling to engage in devotional service. But then when you, for instance, read something that captures you and you become involved in it and remember Krishna, you like to serve Krishna. Oh, what could I do? What could I do? By remembering me, one who has studied no Vedic mantras becomes an expert knower of the Vedas, like Ramananda Gopal, you know. And this all describes the power of my Gayatri mantra, because there you are remembering Krishna, you are thinking of Krishna. If you don't become a neglectful chanter, no? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says something about these mantras which totally surprised me. As you know, I was in Vrindavan this year. Here I found it. And it was a wonderful time for me to strengthen my spiritual practice. So I was in a little hut, really, which was overgrown with a nice plant. And I was, when I was in the hut, I could open the front doors, two doors, and there was a beautiful tulasi plant on a zokal, you know, in this high up. So where I was sitting, I had first Radha Kanaya Lal, the deities, and then when I looked further, there was Tulsi, and I think you will. And there were and then there were all these plants around the roof, and in the plants were these little birds that looked like colibris. You know, colibris, they come and then they fly, stay in the air, and then they drink the juice or the nectar from the flowers. So there were many colibris, and they sing very nice. They're very sattvic, very nice birds. But there was also a room for meditation, which I couldn't use often because a rat lived in there. And I thought the rat was first, so I can't just impolitely, you know, just chase it out. I don't know, when you are in Vrindavan, you think all living entities are equal. You know, you feel like that, and you don't want to hurt anyone, not even a rat. It will go just like the rat went. Then one day the rat was not there any longer. And When I came to this little cottage, I saw why a big snake, really big, just fell out of the tree. The end of the tail remained stuck to a branch, but it just dropped to catch my rat. And the rat ran away in full gallop. And it was fast enough. But now the snake was frustrated. It looked at me. You can laugh, Sumit. It looked at me with these eyes, and I said, "Why do you look at me? I'm too big for you to digest, you know." But it continued to stare at me, and I just ran. When they have these cold eyes, it's better you run, and that was one memorable memory. I always will remember that there was a second memory. I will also remember it. I read in the Bhagavatam this passage where it speaks about the Diksha mantras, the Gayatri mantras. Vishwanath says, in other words, by regularly chanting one's Diksha mantra as japa, this is the, you know, Om, Bhu, Bhu, these mantras, you should carefully think about the meaning of the mantra. So you chant and you are aware of the meaning, what you chant, and then one will cultivate the desire to see one's worshipable Lord. By cultivating the desire to see him, then Krishna, reality the beautiful, will manifest himself before the eyes of the devotee. And I have done this since that time. I must say, a little bit negligent in chanting my Gayatri mantras because there's always so much to do throughout the day. But I have started to chant the Gayatri mantras. I do also something to pacify my mind, and then I chant. And now when I chant and meditate about the meaning, very often it happens that all of a sudden the deity of that particular mantra becomes manifest before the inner eye, not the outer eye, the inner eye, no? In the heart, in other words. So it happens, unfortunately, not so often, but it does happen. And that's the whole idea, the whole secret of chanting any mantra. You chant the vibration, you know, like you can feel when you chant the Om, for instance, there is a vibration. And then, while doing it, you chant, you meditate or have the image of the Lord before you, and then he who is mantra rupa, that is, who has the form of a mantra, will manifest. I would like for all of us to try this for a moment. It's a wonderful spiritual, experience. Sorry, I'm so unmusical. I need this. So please just sit proper, and I will give you now an experience of the vibration of a mantra. We will chant a monosyllable mantra, Ram. I will chant one time, and then we chant 5 times together, yes? And you will feel something. First of all, relax a little. a little deep breathing. I know some of you are terribly excited, but for a moment just stay with your breath. And when you exhale, exhale a little longer. No? Then please listen to me one time, and then we will chant 5 times this mantra. Deep inhale. A deep inhale. Deep inhale. Deep inhale. Now just stay a little calm and just feel into your mind and body if there is some change. I saw when we first started, some of you were almost shocked. Yes, it's the power of a vibration. Now we will chant this the second time, and we will not so much focus on the vibration as we focus on the deity Lord Rama. Or you can, those who like to meditate on Balaram can also use the chant on Balaram. Or Nityananda Ram, you can chant, you can meditate or think of Nityananda. Please chant in a relational way, that is, addressing the Lord. Do it in a devotional way. The first was a vibrational chanting. This now is a little different. You need to now engage your mind in it, no? And chant what is called in Sambandha, in relationship with the deity. I'm sorry, most of you are still in the vibrational mode. This is now a completely different exercise, no? We now bring Ram in our mind, we invoke him, we look at the Lord, and some of you might have difficulties. You can look at the altar and the deities, and then you address them. No? You were chanting in the same way as in the first exercise, which was beautiful, but not the exercise. It was different. So this is now entering the next level. It's no longer mechanic chanting, it's devotional chanting. No? It's different. Ram. two more. And last. In the Vedas it is said, in our tradition it is said, that the Lord who is invisible to our eyes and unreachable by our senses incarnates in the form of sound vibration, and therefore our movement is really based on the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and the second is the Gayatri mantras. Yes, so this needs to be practiced properly, because if you don't practice your japa, both Hare Krishna and the other, it will not work. It will be a farce, your spiritual life, show bottle life, but you will not find the satisfaction in your heart. And because that will not be there, then you will run for material sense gratification. You have no other choice. We are constituted as living beings to find pleasure, and either we search for this in this world and burn our fingers, or in the spiritual dimension. This is quite scientific. Do you know that you can actually turn metal into gold if you get the chemical formula right? Do you know this? I have personally seen this once, but I have so much respect for this. It is said here by yata kanchanatam jati, by chemical manipulation, bell metal is turned into gold when touched by mercury. Similarly, when a person is properly initiated, although he may not have a golden heart, he can acquire the qualities of a Brahmana and he can change. And this is the whole idea. Is it really, my dear devotees, I cannot stop saying that yes, you can, the Hare Krishna movement is like a big village. Shumit, you can now laugh in a second, but better not. If it's there, in a village you find a pizzeria and you can eat pizza there. In the same way, in the Hare Krishna movement, we have wonderful food. That is there. In a village, you can talk about your neighbors. In the Hare Krishna movement, you can also unlimitedly gossip. There is unlimitedly web pages there, many web pages. In the village, you can make good friends. This is also available. There are very good friendships in this movement. There are like-minded people, yes, and you can find friends. I would say Krishna Laya has found many friends here. In the Hare Krishna movement, you can find a lot of controversy, like in the village. You can engage yourself in a village with controversy, and also in the Hare Krishna movement. In a village, there's opportunity for so many things, and so is in a movement. But there is something special. There is a process which can only be compared with the mystical process of alchemy that can affect a profound transformation to a better end. And this is something that needs to be given attention. It needs to be practiced. So for this we get initiation, and with the initiation we get the instructions. Because there's so much on these two mantras, I have tried to solve the instruction part in two ways. I've written a book called the Gayatri book for the second initiates, and I've written a few books on the chanting of the holy name. It's called The Living Name is there. Bhajan, is it Nam Rahasya is there. So many are there. And more will come, because I'm not convinced that we have yet understood the power which is in these mantras. Prabhupada writes in this connection about the power of these two mantras. The chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is so powerful that it does not depend on official initiation. He means with this, the initiation is usually called Diksha. In our movement, we call it the second initiation. First initiation is important. But if one is initiated through Diksha and engages in deity worship, his Krishna consciousness will awaken very soon, and his identification with the material world will be vanquished. We spoke a little bit about this. We all have this identity suitcase where we have small things with which we identify. I'm a man, I'm a German, I'm a poet, I'm a whatever. We all carry this around, and wherever we go, we have our invisible false identification suitcase. But leave that for at least when you practice your spiritual life, and you can experience wonders, miracles beyond your boldest imagination, and you can become, believe it or not, happy in your spiritual life. Yeah. So good. I just wanted to give a modern lecture. I hope I have given with some examples, and my idea was really take it serious. Those who want to make their chanting serious, they must know the 10 offenses and they must avoid them. But this is a whole different lecture. And those who want to have the effect of the mantras, you must chant them regularly, the Gayatri mantras. No? You must, not like your neighbor, but you have to be yourself, so that Krishna also recognizes you. Don't imitate the ways of someone else if they are not good. Be in your strength. So that's a little bit what I wanted to say. Yes. Have you understood? Was it too intense or was it okay? I think this is the only time where we can speak like this and perhaps see, yes, there's some truth in it. And my dear devotees, we are in a situation which is very good if you utilize it, and which is problematic if you don't utilize it. All people who know something about astrology know we live in a time of change. Now the skeptics may say, we always live in a time of change. This is the world of Jagat, the world of change. Why mention specifically this? Well, you'll watch what is happening in the world and you will see something very fundamental is changing. Some people lament. in European, many people lament about the developments. I would like to say change is good. Just get on the wave of positive change, and you will survive all the changes in your life, everything. So take the energy of change and bring it to your spiritual life. I think it is a good time to do this. Just like devotees meet when there's a New Year celebration or when a birthday is there, they want to use the energy of this otherwise material holiday. You can use this also for your spiritual development. It will be very good. And if you are honest with yourself, I think you all have heard a call already. There is something which some of us pretend to, we have not heard it, but if you go deep, find out there is and you will find the calling. I'm telling you really only what you all know already. So this is, it's necessary. Please remember, this was the year 25. This is what was told. Remember it, you will see there's truth in it. Okay, so now Ramananda Gopal with a beautiful voice. What do we? Ist okay wieder, oder? Now we Acha.